Live on us in a minute. We don't know nothing.
Yeah, look, just like that. Look, live. We're
Uh,
live. Hmm.
we're live, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today on another Black Therapy Show. We are here every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today's show is going to be a little different. We all decided we needed to do this show. For those of you who don't know, Kevin just recently lost his dad. I lost my dad a few years ago, and Tiffany lost her dad several years ago. And we always talk about our dads and our family members. I recently lost my oldest sister as well. Kevin lost his sister a few years ago, and Tiffany lost her brother. And I know it's a hard thing, it's not a popular thing to talk about death and grieving, but we all deal with it. We all go through it. And this is going to be a rough show for me, I'll say that, because even though my dad passed a few years ago, it's
Yeah.
still like it was yesterday. And but as we said, we'll get through it. And I know my dad, his attitude towards death was always like, life is for living, the living. I mean, don't mourn too much. Yeah, I know you're gonna miss me, I'll miss all that stuff, but life is for the living. Enjoy your life. He wouldn't want me to be going through life being sad and not living my life to the fullest. But I would say I am living my life, but there's still a sadness that lives beneath. Even though I'm happy, I'm talking, I do this show, I go about my daily life talking to people. In the back of my mind still sits my dad, and in the back of my mind, I think that's for everyone. I don't
Yes.
different, so but you put on that face and you go out into the world and live your life. And so that's today's show is about reminiscing about our dads and what they brought to our lives, and any other family member that you lost. I'll talk a bit about my sister as well, and Tiffany and Kevin would do the same. And I actually wanted to take this Sunday off in respect for Kevin losing his dad, but Kevin said no, let's do it, and so here we are. And it's a circle of life. We all gonna have to deal with it at some point. So if you have lost a loved one and you want to share your thoughts, or you want to come on the show and share your feelings on how you're dealing with grief, because everyone deals with it differently. Um, I would say to people all the time, and people that are close to me lose a loved one, I would say my favorite thing to say would be remember the fun times.
Right. Hmm.
It's easy to say that, I would say remember the fun times, but even the fun times make you sad, but then it makes you smile. Uh, so Tiffany, you want to talk a little bit before we get the show started?
All right. We have to put our disclaimer out. This we are protected by Fair Use Act. We do not own any of the content or any of the videos or music that's coming up. It's only for educational and entertainment purposes only. Our opinion is our opinions only. We would like for you to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment and let us know what you think about tonight's show, or even put your loved one that has passed away, put them in the chat to say rest in peace, because they are now ancestors. And a lot of people don't know that in other cultures they salute their ancestors. And us as Black people, we must salute our ancestors, because if it wasn't for them, we would not be here. We should have a light for them, a candle for them, and let them know that they will always be remembered. And yes, we must go through grief. Like Carl say, everybody's grief is different. So you have all the time you want, but also remember, your loved ones want you to live your life, because when you live your life, you living right through them also. So definitely we send our condolences out to Kev and to your family for losing your baba, your father. We salute and honor him. And definitely, Carl, we know you lost your father a couple of years ago too, and that was a lot for us too. And then you lost your sister. And for me, I lost lost my dad back in the early 2000s, and it was a lot, you know, to be able to have to deal with someone passing away that is a part of you, the one that the other half that made you. But you know what? My peace was knowing that he was in no more pain, no more. And he did a job well done. And I appreciate his walk in life. I appreciate that he met my mother. That was the best thing because that's how we have me. God bless. You know, and I also want to give a shout out to one of my niece lost her best friend this week, a young man, and 32 years old, didn't wake up. So my thing is, young people, please, if you're going through something or you're dealing with something, please make sure you reach out. Just like people go through grief, people go through traumas in their life, and it is outlets out there. So we definitely want to say that the Black Therapy Show loves you, and you have these smart books, smartphones, everything is right here. You know, make sure you type in if you need that help and love. Peace.
All right, thanks. We have someone checking in from New Zealand. Shout out to
Hey.
someone in New
Hey,
Zealand.
New Zealand in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, someone already is in the comments saying black people are usually left wing. I mean, like
Is
Let's
what?
what? Let's what?
wing, like they already. It's not even a political show. Black people are usually left wing. What does that have to do with grief and losing? You know what I mean, like, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
tonight is a grief remembrance show, and I don't want you to go off, Cav, because right now you don't. It's too
Yeah.
much.
No, I'm
You
not gonna
know,
go off. I didn't understand what the uh watcher was saying exactly. What is he saying again, Carl? I'm sorry.
he said, here's what he said: Black people are usually left wing.
Left wing? Oh,
Like
okay.
Democratic, you know, but we're not even talking about that tonight. So, um,
Yeah. Um, yeah, okay. Usually, yeah. There's a reason for that. But anyway,
uh,
yeah.
we're gonna show a couple of videos. We're gonna play our theme song, and we're gonna get the show started. And here we go.
Let me give you 5 things not to say to a person that's mourning. 5 things not to say to a person that's mourning. The first one is this: at least they're in a better place. While that may be true, while I am crying my eyes out and thinking about the absence of that person, reminding me that they're in heaven is not helpful in the situation. Let's take that one out of our vocabulary. The next one not to say is, there's a reason for everything. Well, thank you for that deep insight. I feel so much more comfort. Could you imagine if when Jesus showed up with Lazarus and them, he said, man, there's a reason for everything, Mary and Martha. The next one is this: I guess you just got a new angel. No, you did not. It's not how angels work. All the angels that were made have been created. When people die, they're redeemed in a new body in heaven. And they are celebrating with Christ forever and ever. You did not just get a new angel. Now, you can remember the memory of that person. Let's not negate that. You can remember how much you love them, but that's not necessarily comforting. The next one is this. Please don't say this to somebody in the midst of their mourning. What happened? You're being nosy. You're not being a person that mourns with a person that mourns. Does it matter what happened? Absolutely not. What matters is the person has experienced loss, and you have the opportunity to experience the ministry of presence. And number 5, don't ever, ever, ever say this: I guess it was just their time. That does not soothe someone's mourning. Then what do you say? You sit with them, and if you have to say something, just simply say this: I am so sorry. I cannot imagine how this feels. For those of you that experience mourning, that have lost a loved one, that have gone through a very difficult time, I know for you, you've probably heard some of these phrases and you know that they aren't helpful. But I just want to simply say to you, I am so sorry. And let's be people who mourn with others who mourn, and sit with them in silence and solitude and practice the ministry of presence.
Man, I got to ask, how long ago did your mom pass?
Man, March 7, 2021.
So it's been some years now.
Yeah.
Do you ever When or do you ever stop looking for signs that she's looking down on you? Bro, the light goes out randomly and I'd be like, damn, Pops, you full of shit. I'm riding to a red light, it turns green. I'd be like, oh, appreciate it, Randy. Just out of nowhere, how long does that take to go away? Because that's what's fucking with me the most right now.
I don't think it ever goes away, nor should it. You know, they say grief is a sign that you love deeply. People always ask, when do you get over it? Never. Somebody that you truly love, and all the time, man. Right now, my mom will be calling me, texting me, hey, baby, you okay? How did it go? I have moments still after a football game. Let me call my, hey. To this day, every stage I'm on, she would call. My team would tell you, she'll call them.
Yeah.
And I still have those moments. That reality hits you again and again and again. But the thing I realized, and I'll share this. When I held my mom's cold hand, man, my dad called me at 4 a.m. and I rushed to the house. I said, thank you, God. The hardest thing ever. But I said, thank you, God, because she's healed. You know what I prayed for? I said, God, give her a healing, spiritual or physical, but just heal her. And obviously she got a spiritual healing. And I realized that every soul, man, has to finish their race. She ran hers. She ran a hell of a race. She gave us the lead on life, but she gave me the baton. And so, yeah, I have my moments almost every day. But now I got the baton, and I got to do my job to make sure when I hand off the baton, they got a lead on life. So I hold on that every single day, man, even when it gets hard. But I give myself the space and permission to grieve, because we all need it.
Yeah, I've never been the same since my brother died. There's a melancholy in me that never goes away. I'm 50% happy and 50% sad at any given moment. And the only advice I can give people for when you lose someone like that is you won't ever get over it. And the more you know that and embrace it, the better off you are. I don't want to forget my brother, and I don't want to forget what it felt like when he died, because he deserves it. That's how important he was to me. So if I have to suffer, and if I have to be sad for the rest of my life, and if I have to be lonely without him, without his particular thing, his sense of humor and what he brought to life, then that's the way I honor him.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. We in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know it, Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you everything, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now
Welcome to the Black
Show. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here Sunday, the Black Therapy Show. As you saw from the title of the show, Tribute to Our Fathers Who Have Passed. That's what today's show is about. We might go into some other blackity-black stuff, but the main topic of today's show is loss and grieving. And as you know, Kevin just recently lost his dad. And, I lost my dad and a sister recently, and Tiffany, her father, and also a brother. And Kevin also lost his sister. So, and we talk about this. I don't think we've spoken about this openly, like on a public forum, but we decided to do it today. And I would like to add to another thing that I don't like to hear people say, and I don't know if Kevin, you've heard this, but my dad died, he was 89. And people would say, oh, he had a long life, he had a good life. I don't care if my dad was 309 or 1009. I just saw him as my dad. I didn't see him as a number. So telling me that he had a good life at 89, he had a good long, it just makes me want to smack people. It does. Like, oh, reduce my dad to a number, like,
Insects.
you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
that don't bother me that much, Carl. To be honest with you, when people say you live a long life, and it doesn't really bother me. My dad, I think 84, 85 when he passed. So I think, and I disagree with the other brother you played earlier. Some of the stuff he said. I think that it's okay for us to believe or want to believe or really believe that our loved ones that pass away are our angels. So I disagree with him on that one. That when people go, "Oh, you have an angel now," I believe in angels. Believe it or not, I
Yeah, I believe
believe.
in the ancestor. Yeah,
I
ancestor
believe
energy.
in ancestors. I believe in, yeah, we call them ancestors, not
Yeah.
angels. So I believe in ancestors, and I believe in spirits. I believe that our body is a spirit. Inside this body is a spirit, right? And when this body's gone, our spirit still lives. So I believe I've had contact with loved ones. Like people say, you walk in a room and you're thinking about your loved one, and then something happens, like a book
Yeah.
fell off the shelf or something like that, or a light or blink or something like that. Is that
Yeah.
person reaching out to you? So I do believe in angels and stuff like that, and your loved ones that you lose can be your angel and have you back in certain ways throughout the rest of your life. So I believe that. So I just read the brother on that one. Yeah. But Carl, we have a discussion on this show about men, longevity of men. Like we talk about our forefathers, for example. Most of those guys, didn't live that long. Back in the old days, in the early 1800s or whatever, the average man lived, what, 30 years, before they passed away. Like people didn't live into their 80s and 90s back in the 1800s, because of medicine and
Right.
science and diet and stuff that we know now. But we are able to live into our 90s and 80s, late 80s and stuff like that. So in a way, that's a blessing to, that we do have our parents longer, because
That
can you
long.
imagine,
That yeah.
can you imagine your dad in like our fathers were living in, 1819 or 1920, even 1926. We're living in that age. Our fathers wouldn't have probably lived to be 30 years old or 35 years
Yeah.
old,
Or they
you
was
know.
taken away from us and shit.
Yeah, they were taken away from us, stuff like that. So yeah, so kind of we're grateful for the years. None of you don't put a year on your dad, but grateful that we have him as long as we have him,
We
because
have them, right.
most people have lost. I have friends too, by the way, Carl and Tiffany. Something I always not bragged about, but something I was grateful for. During Mother's Day and Father's Day, I go on social media and I see all these tributes from my friends, because they don't have their parents. On Mother's Day, they don't have their parents. On Father's Day, they don't have their parents. And I was like, wow, I still have both my parents. And that was just an amazing feeling. Me being 60, 1 years old, and still having both my parents. I have friends my age and younger than me that don't have their parents. And so yeah. It's a blessing to have your parents, man, just live the years that they live, especially if they get into that age bracket of the 70 to 80, or even make it to 90 this day and age. I think we should be thankful for that, because as people, I know people, my niece, for example, both her parents are gone. My sister is gone, and she left kids. So my niece and nephew, they don't have their father or their mother at this point. So, and she's in her 30s with no parents.
Right.
My niece is in her 30s and she had no parents. You know what I'm saying? So that's, so I'm blessed to still have my mom here, thank God. And then I just lost my dad on last week. So April 1st to be exact. And I wasn't ready to let him go. Felt like I still had more time with him, but that wasn't the case. But I'm extremely sad and broken over it. But it's part of this thing called life, man. But we're gonna lose our parents and hopefully our parents don't have to bury us, Carl, because something could have happened to you too, brother, early on. And you know, I know your mom is still living, and you just had to lay your sister to rest. So that's the worst thing, to have a parent have to bury a kid, man. You know, and that's a horrible thing right there, to have to bury a kid. I can't
And the
imagine that
pain
too.
they have to go through,
Yeah,
yeah.
I hope I got to go before my daughter, because I don't want my daughter to bury me, man. You know, so
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to have to bury my daughter, is what I meant to say. So we you know, so that's another whole nother thing, man. Parents having to bury their kids too, you know. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
my
man.
mother's a part of that
I'm
club,
just trying to
yes.
say, no, you don't put a number on your dad, man, but try to be thankful for the years that he did have on the planet with you, man. Because if you had him for 89 years, man, you probably want him for another 89, brother. I get it,
You
man. But
said, how old was your pops, Carl?
89.
yeah, man.
89.
So
Like,
and
again, you see how that's so deep. How y'all had your fathers in your 80s. My father died at 62 years old.
that's what I'm trying to say.
And
That's what I'm
13
saying,
of
Tiffany.
those years he had a stroke.
Mm,
So, yes, I only had 27 years with him. So I understand. And I, like he said, there's so many people that didn't have their fathers and stuff like that. So it's again, we salute these ancestors, because if it wasn't for them, we would not be here.
Yeah. Kevin, do you feel like, because I know with my dad, I felt like I always wanted more time, you know, like
hmm
my dad, the thing is my dad knew he was my dad, and I found this out after, but he knew he was dying. But he
Yeah,
didn't, because had he said the words, "Hey, I don't have much time left," or anything, and I would have been out of this country and back in Barbados for at least 2 or 3 months, you know,
right.
and with him. But he never said that. But now looking back on the conversations we had, because when my dad and I used to talk for hours, we used to talk so long. The cordless phones that we would,
Yeah,
would die on the cordless phones. We used to talk, but we didn't talk like every day or every other day. I mean, it'd be a couple of weeks, but when we talked for hours, and we talked about everything under the sun, life in general. And at the end of every conversation, I would say, "Dad, I love you so much." He would say, "I love you too, son." And it was a very high energy, "I love you" ending. But then coming down to the end, and I didn't know it was the end, but now looking back, I realized it was the end. I would say, "Dad, you know, I love you so much." And he would pause, and I would hear like him like crying, kind of, you know what I mean?
yeah.
His voice would crack, and he would say, "I love you too, son." Um, Now looking back, that tells me that he knew, you know, that it was coming to the end. But I want to say, I don't feel I missed anything, even though I wanted my dad here
Right.
longer. We told it. I mean, when I tell you, we covered everything. We talked about death. You know, my dad taught me about how to be financially stable, how to handle relationships, everything. We said all the "I love yous," any little misunderstanding we had while we were, you know, father and son. We talked about that, squashed it, you know. So I can say that I honestly, when my dad went, I had a clear conscience. It wasn't a thing where you go, "My God, I wish I had said this to my father before he went." So I'm just wondering if there's anything with you and your dad. Do you feel that you
Well, Carl, I visited my dad at the hospital on March 31st. I drove from Florida. I had a show in Florida, and drove all the way from Florida to Washington D.C. Stopped by, saw my dad at the hospital. I spent about maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours at the hospital, and left and drove to New York. And before I left, I said, "Dad," he was awake. You know, rubbed his head and all that sort of stuff. Say, "Dad, I'll see you Saturday, because I'm coming back to Maryland on Saturday. I have a show in Baltimore Saturday night, so I'll come in early and spend some time with you in the daytime at the hospital, you know, visiting you." And so I was expecting to see my dad again. The next day, I got a phone call from my sister that said my dad passed away at 105.
yeah.
So I didn't know he's going to die. I thought I would see him on Saturday. I know he was very sick, and I knew he was very sick. I knew that he was fighting for his life, and my dad's a fighter. He'd do everything in his power not to go. But I think, you know, I was expecting to see him on Saturday, and I did go to Baltimore. I'm still in Maryland right now, actually. I came to perform here last night, and yesterday during the daytime, I was supposed to see my dad, and I didn't because he's gone. So just that quick, man. That phone call came the next day. It was devastating, bro, because I didn't realize that when I left the hospital, I wasn't gonna see him again. Because I would have left the hospital. I would have stayed there, right? Like, you know, he only got 2 more hours or 3 more hours or half a day left. You're not gonna leave the hospital. You're gonna stay there, you know, and that's it, right? But I did leave because I didn't think he was gonna pass. I thought he was gonna be, you know, get through this because he's always gotten through it. He's been in the hospital in ICU before and gotten out and gotten through it several times over the last couple of years. So I just thought this is another time where he's going through this rough time and he was going to get through this like he always gets through it. So I didn't expect it to be the last time I saw him. I didn't think that'd be the last time I saw him. I think he knew, as I look back and I've been brainstorming on the last time I saw him, I think he knew that he was going to die. You know, I think he knew that. And I think he knew that. I think he wanted to see his kids come through and his loved ones that visit him. I think he's waiting for everybody to come visit him. And he actually spoke on a three-way with my mom, and my mom and dad been divorced since I was probably 6 months old, right? So and remarried 100 times, right? But that's still my mom's first husband and the mother of her 3 kids. So I called my mom on a three-way when I was at the hospital on March 31st, and he spoke with my mom on the three-way, you know, little joke around sort of thing, you know. My dad always have us, you know, trying to sneak one in, you know, sneak a joke in or flirt in. Even on his deathbed, he had enough energy to flirt, right, with his old wife. So just who he is, that's the way he is, right? So, but I think he heard the voice of my mom, and he saw his son and he saw his daughter that week. And you know, my other brother is in Arizona, so he couldn't make it down, you know, to visit him in the hospital. But he talked to my brother that day also. I think he, you know, heard from all his loved ones of his immediate family, and his brother, you know, visited him every day. So I think he knew he was going. I think he's just waiting to see everybody before he left, you know. That's just what I get. That's my guessing
No,
of
that's
everything.
what they do. That's
Yeah.
what they do. They make sure they see all their loved ones.
Yeah. But to see him just not even 24 hours later, he was gone, though, Carl and Tiffany. Like, it wasn't even 24 hours since I left the hospital and then got the phone call that he passed. You know, it was not even 24 hours. So that hurt the most, that I was just there with him. And if I knew he was going to go that quick, I probably would have stayed longer. I would have stayed, and I would have stayed longer. You know, they would have to kick me out the hospital, you know? So I remember my best friend, Doc, legendary comedian, the Fat Doctor, passed away. And he was on his last leg. We knew he was going to die. And the nurse at the hospital, they brought a cot in for me. They brought this extra bed into his bedroom, into his hospital room. And I spent the night there at the hospital with Doc, you know. He was like a brother to me, you know. And they were a very nice hospital, Richmond, Virginia, man. They brought a cot in, and there I slept on that cot, you know, in the same room with Doc, you know. And we lost him probably a week after that, you know. So, yep. But that's the way it goes, man. You know, people you love you're gonna lose them, and you know, all you have is the memories and all that stuff, man. You know, there's nothing else you can do about it. They'll say 2 things you can't escape in them is death and taxes. You can escape taxes. You can escape taxes. You can't escape death. There's people that don't pay taxes. They go and somehow get through this world, but you cannot escape death. That's for sure. So we all going to have to bury our loved ones, and our loved ones are going to have to bury us eventually. So That's just the way the cycle is. It sucks. It's horrible that we have to lose our parents. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. You look at it from a spiritual point. If you believe in God, you believe in Jesus, all that stuff. You know, if you're a Christian, Muslim, whatever, you just can't wrap your head around why do we have to die? Like, why do you have to die? Like, why? Why do
It's
my
death
mom have
and
to go? Why do my dad have to
rebirth
go?
and death, you
You
know.
know, why do my sister and my brother and all these people I love, why do they have to go? You know, why do I have to go the same way, you know, they're gonna go? You know, if I go before my two siblings, you know, it's just always the two siblings have left, I should say, because mother and sister's already gone. So, you know, you think about it, calling Tiffany, like I can't even you just comprehend, like you can't even comprehend like you grew up with like your father. Like I'm 61. I mean, I've had my dad for 61 years. That's a long time, right? I mean, I should have him longer, but that's a long time. Like I talk to my dad, like I can't make those phone calls anymore, you know? Like I can't call him anymore and say, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Or, you know, I'll see you when I come through town, take you to breakfast, you know. None of that. That's all gone. Can never happen again. It's crazy. And then you just try to find stuff to hold on to, your
Yeah.
memories, you know, souvenirs or anything, you know.
Mhm.
My sister, I'm at my sister's house right now here in Maryland, and she found some stuff from Dad's house, and she gave it to me today. And she gave me this ring right here. It's my dad's ring.
Mm.
Called it Tiffany. I put it on my hand, and she handed me the ring. Right? She goes, "That's Dad's ring. I want you to have that." And she gave it to me. I put it on my hand, and immediately I turned around. I ran up the steps to the guest bedroom where I slept at last night, and broke down crying. I didn't want my sister to see me bawling, right?
Oh.
Trying to be strong for everybody else, right? So I didn't want my sister to see me bawling, but I went upstairs immediately. I turned my back on her when she gave me the ring, went upstairs and started crying because it just like, you know, still dealing with that grief, you know. And then to get, you know, so this ring is my dad's ring on my hand, and it will stay there. It will stay there forever. So, yeah.
Tiffany, when your dad passed, did you have time to say goodbye, or was it really sudden?
Um, it wasn't sudden. He had a surgery and he had complications, but like indirectly, it took him a month and a half to go. Like he could have probably died on the table, but it's like he waited so we can be able to deal
Yeah.
with him leaving. You know, my sister was out of town. My sister was able to come in back into town and stuff. You know, and one of my clients, because I was really being like, you know, my father gonna make it. I gotta, you know, be strong for him and stuff. And one of my clients told me, she said, stop being a selfish child. She said, maybe he is tired. He lasted a very long time. My father lasted 13 years with a stroke, you know, and being on dialysis and everything. And I saw him he did very good. So when he made his transition, you know, and the first thing he said, you know, before he said he started seeing his ancestors, he said he saw his mother, he saw Native American. Like he's telling us what he's seeing. That's when we started knowing that he was getting ready to leave. And I told him, I said, if you ready, Dad, go. I can't hold you. I appreciate you. Job well done. And that's the hardest thing is letting go of somebody that made a part of you, you know. And he just started shutting down piece by piece. You know, his organs were shut down. And I made sure that we buried him properly. He's buried near his mother. She made sure. That's so bug. That's another thing, that's something that you said, called, do we talk about death? Do we talk about death with our children? You know, how to financially take care or getting paperwork together. We don't talk about that, and we need to talk about that more. My grandmother would pay this man every 2 weeks, and I was like, Grandma, what are you doing? She said, I'm taking care of future business, not knowing that she was paying for their plots. So when my father made his transition, my uncle called me and was like, your grandmother already said she want her son buried right next to her. So she had all of that planned already. And I was like, wow, not knowing, but it helped out so much. You understand? So, like I said, everybody grieves differently and deal with things differently. I was at a peace. Like I just didn't want no more pain. You don't like your parents going through it or hurting or or anything like that. So I made my I did what I supposed to did as a child, and that's what I tell people today. Do what you have to do for your parents, because you don't want no regrets later on. You don't want them to say, I wish I would have. I made sure I did. Even with my mother right now, with her taking care of her, I told her, and she said to me, that's another thing. Parents must talk to your children, especially about life and death. My mother told me if she leaves this earth today or tomorrow, she said that I did what I supposed to do and she don't want me to go, to be sick or anything like that. And that helped me too, because when she do, because every one of us is going to lose our parents. That's a part of our life. That's something that's going to happen. But I know that I'm going to hear that, and that's going to be able to help me deal, you understand, with anything. So again, it's hard. I had to deal with it, but I knew that I did my job and they did their job, and I couldn't hold on no more. What can you do? You can't say, God, stop. If they body and they shell is tired, what can we do? So again, I salute my dad, that he held on that long, and I salute again, we must talk to our young people, before they get older and they have to go through this about life and death, because we don't talk about those things. We don't talk about insurance. How if they pass away, and funerals is not like it used to be. Funerals is like 15 to 20,000, for a decent funeral. Or and if you don't have that, you don't want your family going somewhere that you don't want them to go, like Pottersville or something like that. So again, we definitely have to talk about life insurances, what will happen, what is their wishes, what they want to do, and after, if anything ever happened.
Yeah.
You're right, Tiffany, about the funeral prices. Um, and it's ridiculous. Like my sister and I were just talking about going over some stuff, funeral prices stuff. Today we're having this conversation. As we're planning the service for my dad. That's crazy. Like they
Yeah.
just charge you for everything, like everything. Like I didn't even realize they charge you for like everything. The daggone, like she was talking about the limousine. Like they charge you $3 a mile from wherever the funeral service is held to the cemetery. Just little knickknack stuff like that. I didn't even think about it. They charge you to go pick the body up from the from the
Yes,
from the
they do.
hospital from the hospital and bring back to they charge you for every little knickknack. I'm like, wow, people are grieving and you're hitting them over the head with every little knickknack you can think of, just to get money. It's like it's a booming industry. I mean, people are gonna die, but
Very booming. They got people on Amazon buying their coffins now because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
like man,
I saw that. I
funeral.
said, "Oh my God, is people buying coffins on
I gonna get to
Amazon?"
the point where people are gonna start, and there's these laws like you can't I guess you have to have a hearse to put because people will start carrying these bodies in SUVs or something. It's out of control. Like it's
I'm not laughing. God forgive me, but you're not
I'm just
lying.
so like it's crazy. Like we got a Ford Escalade. We're gonna put them in the back of that because it's like these funeral prices
This
are
is too
crazy
expensive.
now. Yeah, like we're taking an Uber. We don't need a limousine. It's just the prices of these, and nobody's regulating these funeral homes. Like it's our government's job to stop these companies from doing this. Everybody needs to make money. We get it, but just to this is out of control. Like no
But
funeral should be $20,000, like or $15,000. Like that's just
no,
ridiculous.
it's about that. But I'm going to tell you this: our right is to ask a question, because this is what they tell you in any business, and you should know. If you don't ask, they won't tell. Right? So if the first thing you know they're going to show you is the most expensive, you be like, no, take me to the Medicaid section, please. Let me see what what we're doing for the Medicaid plan, okay? Because you're not going to just hurry up and give me a $25,000 coffin, okay? Because my first thing my father said to me was like, put me in a wooden box and take me to the red dirt. That means take him down south to Georgia. You understand what I'm saying? So I made sure I didn't go crazy, you know, because he already threatened me, you know. So yeah, come on, no,
All right, here's a basketball player talking about his father.
My dad, he just did everything. Like it was like it's such a hard thing when you got somebody there and you get so used to it. It ain't that I underappreciated him, because I talk to my dad every day. You know what I'm saying? I didn't underappreciate him. Especially when they just get snatched up like that, ain't nobody really ready for it. Like the hole that it leaves, like I guess the process of it was like understanding that until I go down, like they really won't know. I mean, we could celebrate, we could do this. People talk about getting flowers while he's still here on Earth, but you can't really feel it till somebody gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now when I do like just my day-to-day stuff, like I can hear him. Like I know what he taught me. Like I know a lot of people didn't have a father, and I leaned on mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I had friends that leaned on my father, and it's like it make me happy as hell to say like he was a good man. You know what I mean? But it's like within that same breath, it make you cry like a little baby that is like I ain't got him no more. You know what I'm saying? About yeah, he was the day before my bad. My bad, dog. He really my bad. So he really wanted me to he liked when I wear the suits, that full suit. He liked when I wear shirt and tie and stuff. He always got dressed for the office every day. He would wear shirt and tie. And our last convo, he just was like, man, you look good in them suits, man. Like I like that you taking jobs now that you wearing that suit. And then he told me don't come home, finish filming, because we was filming the podcast. Told me and my brother not to come home, finish filming. He got to go in the hospital. He'll be right back. Yeah, that was the last one. But
yeah, that's Iman Shumpert.
Yeah.
Shumpert, yeah.
I mean, I used to feel like, and I know this was kind of silly, but I used to feel like I love my father the most. Nobody loved their father the way I love my father. You know, nobody feels the way I feel. Yeah, I'm the only one that know. You know, I had, you know what I mean? But, you know, I know everybody, you know, everybody
Funny,
loves. Huh?
I'm about to say it's weird. And listen to you talk about your father, man, because we always doing always a lot of jokes during Father's Day. Like fathers don't get the same respect and love that the mamas get. You know, like Father's Day is like a so-so holiday, and then Mother's Day is like this huge holiday in America. You know what I mean? Like it's like night and day. You know what I'm saying? Like Father's Day and Mother's Day in America. I don't know about where you're from, Carl, or other countries, but
All over the world.
yeah, it's all over the world. It's night and day, bro. Like there's always these memes and stuff that come out now. You know, people get a father a cactus plant or something, or old ugly tie. But then on Mother's Day, you know, you pull up with a Mercedes Benz. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so night and day how moms get treated different than the dads, you know. It is a weird thing, you know. Like I was a single parent, man. I raised my daughter, you know, and her mom didn't, you know. Like I was a single dad, right, to my daughter. But
the big piece of chicken.
no, in my head, what I'm saying is that I know my daughter to this day is still closer to her mother than she is to me.
Oh,
You
that's
know what I mean?
always I heard that happening.
Yeah, so it's just straight like, well, wait a minute. You know, Bill Cosby had this famous joke. He used to say, I go out and I teach my son how to throw the football and shoot the basketball and throw the football and catch the football and run the football. And then one day my son is on NFL team making millions of dollars and the camera comes on him on the football field and he goes, "Hey, mom."
Don't say, "Hey, dad."
No, it's never "Hey, dad." It's never "Hey, dad." It's "Hey, mom." Bill Cosby made that point, and that's real though. Like he was the one that taught his son how to play football and make it to the NFL, become a big TV, and then he gets on TV and he goes, "Hey, mom," never "Hey, dad." So it's a
because she's the one that feed him.
yeah, exactly. So you know, just hearing Carl talk about how much he loved his dad, it made me think about that. Like dads really get shit on, man, a lot. You know, especially when it comes to holidays. When it comes to holidays, man, you know, it's crazy.
Maybe in the media. I think maybe it's in the media because you know they don't want us to salute our dads too much. But yeah, maybe in the media. But you know, I know that y'all took care of y'all dads on Father's Day, right? You know, people gave y'all love on Father's Day. You know, I made sure I gave my dad what he needed on Father's Day. Or any father that I know that deserves something nice, I'll give them something. You know, or give them a shout out or something like that because you really, you know, it is good dads out there. It's just not shown enough. Now, mothers, you know, they gonna always give mothers a little extra. She had to go lay on that table and scream and holler. So, definitely shout out to dads.
In Barbados,
You screamed and hollered before you got to the table.
You know what?
Barbados for Mother's Day, the church has a special day. It's a Mother's Day. It's a big thing. You know, the churches have this special celebration for Mother's Day. You know, it's a whole thing. And but for Father's Day, it's just nothing. Absolutely.
Because nobody thought to create something. Why nobody thought about create? Even the men, y'all can create for yourselves. I mean, come on, y'all always need the woman to be like, let's create something for the man.
The men who created, who make a big deal out of Mother's Day, you know, because let's be honest, and not to move away from this, but men's feelings and what men needs are not really, the world isn't really concerned about that. You're a man. You're supposed to go out and make money and take care of your family and shut up. You know.
Oh no.
That's the way and that, like, we're just, you know what I mean, just provide. Just you go out.
I feel bad that you feel like that. I don't want my man just to shut up.
It's true though, Tiffany.
I know.
And also, most women outlive men too. Like most women you meet that are widows, you meet more women that are widows than men that are widows. You know, you ever notice that? Like most married couples, the man goes first. You know, so yeah, it's. I have to perform on cruise ships a lot. And when I meet on these cruise ships, I meet a lot of women on there, widows. Like, oh yeah, my husband died 10 years ago. Like, you never meet no man on the cruise go, yeah, my wife passed away. You know, it's always the like you're on a cruise and your husband's somewhere. You know, so it's interesting.
But I have met men these past 10 years that either lost their girls to pregnancy or getting hurt or was sick and they wound up being single fathers, you know, because of, you know, young ladies passing away. And I never saw that growing up, but I saw it more like the past 10, 15 years. It's a whole difference in, you know, rearing childbirth now. A lot of women are dying in childbirth, you know, and that's sad too, because now the men have to take care of them children because you the guardian. So yeah, I'll give a shout out to the dads.
Yeah, Um, yeah. So, I mean, I had of all my dad gave me lots of physical things like toys and bought stuff for me, but the best memories that I had of my dad is him and I just doing stuff together, like fishing. We went fishing together. I remember my dad I thought I was helping fix his car. He'd be working on his car, and he would have me hand him tools, pass me this tool, and I really felt like I was helping,
You
you know.
was helping.
Um, and he would have a bucket of some kind of cleaner that he would clean his hands in. So I used to dip my hands in it to make my hands dirty, so it looked like I was, what I mean. So
Oh,
he looked
Carl.
working hard. He used to laugh, because he know I didn't do nothing. But yes, still. So those are the fond memories I have of my dad. And at the end of the day, memories, as they say, don't leave like people do.
Yeah. So yeah, my father was a comedian. Everybody used to call him Robin Harris. And
Yeah.
y'all know who Robin Harris is. Yeah. He used to
Yeah.
always crack jokes. And that's one thing I can say that I appreciate with comedy and stuff. My father liked to crack jokes, keep you popping and laughing. What your father did to make you start laughing, Cav?
Well, my dad, unlike my mom, I get my sense of humor from my mom. My dad,
Oh.
unfortunately, I get my dad. As we talked about my dad today, my dad loved women.
Oh. Oh.
Nova.
Oh, Pop. I
But
did see his picture. I was like, oh, look at Pop. Looking like Cav, looking like Pop.
Casanova.
Yeah, my dad was a ladies' man. That was his claim to fame was the women. So good looking man, handsome dude, and just loved the ladies. Oh, his favorite things in the world were women and casinos. He loved dad loved the casinos too. Dad's a casino man, so he loved the casino and he loves the ladies. So
I can see
that
your
was
father chilling in the casinos, right? The heaven casinos with his
that,
lady angels.
that's his thing, man. That was his thing. The casinos and the ladies. So no doubt about it.
All right. You guys want to change up a little?
Yeah, we change up,
Yeah.
man. Something I
Who you
forgot.
about to talk about now?
Well, let me ask: is Chili done? Are we done? Are we done with Chili? Are we done?
I'm done with her.
Oh,
I'm done. I'm done with her. She's done. Period. I think she's done.
I don't
Period.
know. I've
But I
been
think
done with Chili.
I think we have selective outrage though, which I don't understand. Like Chile is like she's getting it handed to her right now, and I don't think she's going to come back from this. I think she's basically is this new Stacey Dash because I don't think there's no comeback for Stacey
Ooh,
Dash, But I think we're not that harsh on the Mike Tysons of the world, who's a Trump supporter. We're not
Mike
that
Tyson
hard
was
on.
different.
We're not that. If you support white supremacy and you're black, you support white supremacy and you're black, Tiffany. So Mike Tyson supports Trump. His claim is, well, Trump looked out for me back in the day. Whatever. Okay. That's the hill you want to die on. But right now, he's hurting your people. He's hurting the people that look like you. He's hurting people from your neighborhood that you grew up in. He's hurting people that look like you. Chile, he's hurting people that look like you. He's hurting women. Over 300,000 black women were forced out their jobs. They lost their jobs because of this guy. And you support him, Chile? Seriously? So no, she's done. But
She's
we
on
don't
the
have the same
same.
outrage. We don't have the same outrage for LT, the football player, legendary football player who supported Trump. We don't have the same outrage for Mike Tyson who supported Trump. We don't have the same outrage for boxing legend Tommy Hearns who support Trump. So, but we're and there's others. I think Snoop caught the same
Oh,
heat.
that's what I was about to say. She's on the same. Listen, she's on the same list with Snoop and Nelly.
Yeah,
Ludacris
Snoop
almost
and
got
Nelly.
on there. Chrisette Michelle. She's about to be off her probation soon, so she might can get back into the cookout. But no, I'm not.
Yeah, see,
Chili has always been weird. I don't know why everybody. Chili's always been weird to me. I'm not surprised. But how about if celebrities? If why they just gotta tell us who? Tell us nothing. We don't want to know because if we know, we're gonna dish you. You understand? And now that she done, and to be honest with you, you know who outed her by mistake? It
Oh,
was her T-Boz. I think T-Boz was talking about saying, "Oh, my band member voted for Trump," because that was trending too. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it fell out, and I'm not surprised that they dug it up. She's definitely, and she's not the only one. I think somebody else said, "Don't be surprised how many people we look up to is down for Trump's business, or remember they're part of the rich class. Okay, when you rich, you done signed your name to the devil. It's most of them done signed their name to the devil, so they can't say nothing or be right along with them just the way Nicki Minaj is.
oh, Nick Cannon wasn't it dragging his ass and he ran to the black community for help when the Jews were.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
Nick
Nick
Cannon, another
Cannon.
one.
Yeah, he's him and Amber Rose because Nick Cannon said he's not following no party. He's not following no Democrat. He's not following no what's what. He told a history, and a lot of black people didn't like his history and how I think what Amber Rose
Hey,
said.
Tiffany, he didn't tell all the history, Tiffany. He just
Right, he
told
didn't tell.
the
That's
part
what
that
they were
looks
saying. That
good.
he didn't say
Yeah.
all. I didn't see the whole thing because I didn't care. Because I don't really feel him too much because he be backpedaling and he got to
He said
backpedal. He has to
he said that
backpedal because he's being paid by the white man. So
he's saying that the KKK comes from the Democrats, and he was correct.
right,
He also
that's it.
said that yeah. So he said the Democrats were the party of the KKK, and he's correct about that. But he didn't tell the whole story. So if you're going to
Right,
tell the story, tell the whole story. Because he was correct about that, but he also didn't tell how the party switched,
right.
switched
He didn't
around. He
tell
didn't tell
that
that part.
story. Right.
Yeah, he didn't tell the story that it was the Democrat Party that signed the Civil Rights Act
Mm-hmm.
and all the other acts. Any rights that the black people have in America today uh, happened because of legislation that the Democrats signed. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. No, then yeah. So we'll leave it at that. And that goes for
Yeah.
women too. Any women rights, and rights for blacks all come from the Democratic Party. None of it comes from the Republican Party.
Yeah, because they
Not
changed what
not
I heard. They
one.
changed over because of Kennedy.
Yeah, they changed over because
They said a
Kennedy.
lot of people, black people, changed over to Democrat when Kennedy came along. And then what happened? He got murdered. You understand what I'm saying? So now you're stuck with the party. Like
But,
to me, I think everything's a setup.
but a
I'm
lot
really
of a
think.
lot of the Dixiecrats is what we call them now.
Mhm.
That was the racist Democrats were upset with Kennedy because he was starting to work with Dr. King on the Civil Rights Act.
Mhm.
So they were pissed about that. They didn't want the blacks to get, the Democrats in the 60s, early the 50s and 60s did not want all of these rights for black people because they were
Right.
some racist bastards,
Right.
right?
They wanted to control.
But
Yeah.
Kennedy was working with King on trying to change things. So all of them said, okay, well, we're just going to switch parties. We're going to go over and help this other guy become president because this other guy, we know he's a racist ass, Kennedy. So we're going to go vote for the racist Republican guy. And that's what they did. They all switched over. And then when Kennedy was assassinated and then Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act, all these racist Dixiecrats then became the Republican Party, which helped put Nixon in office,
Mhm.
and then Reagan, and then the history did it. So and then George Bush Sr. come from Reagan. So all of these people, all these Republicans that have come since Nixon been supported by this Dixiecrat Party, which is formerly racist Democrats that turned Republicans. That's why we have the party today of yours truly, Donald Trump. It's the same, and it's just the kids now are grown from their ancestors were the Dixiecrats. Now they're just Republicans now, you know. So yeah, I mean, when you think about the guys like John Lewis and all those people, those were Democrats. They were fighting, and Dr. King never really put himself at any, you know, Democratic at any party. He never said I was a Republican or a Democrat.
Right, he wasn't all into the
But
political,
I suspect he voted, since he fought for voting. I'm sure he voted for who was best for our people at that time, and it wasn't. You know, at that time it was Kennedy, you know, who was, I guess, best for our people. You know, who was trying to do us right. You know, Kennedy was trying to do us. He was trying to make a difference. His brother Bobby was trying to make a difference. You know, those guys were trying to make a difference. They weren't perfect, but they were trying to make a difference and open up the doors. You know, and that's why they both were assassinated. Both of those brothers were assassinated, along with King in the '60s. All three of them were murdered in the '60s.
Was lit.
Yes, we lost Malcolm X in the '60s. We lost Dr. King in the '60s, and we lost Bobby and John Kennedy in the '60s. So the '60s was no joke. You're right.
But I don't.
Had those four men lived, we'd probably be living in a better world right now, most likely.
Don't the black entertainers realize that the only thing the MAGA movement uses them for is entertainment? That's
no, they don't.
They don't know that. They don't know that.
Information is power. When you're rich, Carl, and when you're rich, you're powerful. When you got a lot of money, you're powerful, and you're around a lot of yes men. So Nick Cannon's worth a lot of money. Nobody's going up to Nick Cannon and go, "Yo, bro, you're wrong," because everybody around him is yes men. Everybody around him is there for that paycheck. I remember Stephen A. Smith, when he first came out and said something negative about the Democrats and was siding with his daughters, jumped his ass, you know. But once he signed that $100 million contract with ESPN, his daughter's been awfully quiet lately. I don't hear them going, "Dad, hey, Dad, you shouldn't say that about Michelle Obama." You know, I don't hear no scuttlebutt from them now, you know, because everybody around you, when you're rich, is yes men, because everybody wants that check. Everybody wants that mortgage paid off. Everybody wants that new house and that.
Oh, they want to live that life.
They want that Benz outside. Well, if your dad's worth $100 million, he's gonna buy you a house. He's gonna buy you your dream car. He's got your back, and all you got to do is just, you know, yeah, Dad, yeah, Dad. So yeah, Mom, whatever, you know, so whoever the rich person is in the family. So that's it. Your family ain't gonna go against you because you got that money. So they just gonna stay quiet. They might not agree with him, but they ain't gonna challenge him publicly because they don't want to be cut off. And that's the harsh thing. So nobody's telling Nick Cannon the truth. Nobody's telling Nick Cannon the truth, you know, Tiffany. Nobody's telling Nick Cannon, you know, to shut the F up. You're wrong on this one. You're not telling the whole story. You know, you didn't go to school and learn this. They don't teach us in school, so you got to learn this on your own. You got to do your own homework, your own studying.
Get a historian to tell the truth. My thing is they can ask for the real truth instead of trying to explain it on their own, because we know we're not going to listen to you. Go get an expert and let them break down, you know, what needs to be said or what is the history of the Democrat and the Republican Party, you know. And what happened to not telling who you voting for, I thought that stuff was secret. Wasn't it secret back in the days?
Yeah, before social media, yes. Yeah. But Tiffany, you don't need, you know, back in the day when I was a kid, my mom used to have this encyclopedia on the bookshelf. It was like from A to Z. You want to know something. You want to know something, you had to go get one of them big blue books. And open it up and go through it to get to, now you have this thing called Google on your tablet, on your cell phone, right in the palm of your hand. You have a wealth of information. You can Google just about anything and learn for yourself. Nick Cannon can sit back and pull up YouTube videos on American history, on Black history. He can tune into this show right here and learn something tonight, or any day of the week, or any Sunday. Nick Cannon, you can watch us and learn something. So my point is, you have a wealth of information in the palm of your hand on your cell phone. You don't have to go get a big giant book off your mom's bookshelf anymore and look anything up. So you have YouTube, which is powerful because you can pull up any video on the Civil Rights Act. You can pull up any video on. I've watched so much documentaries on Lincoln and all that stuff, and just learned so much on these documentaries on American history, dating back to the slavery and the civil rights. I watched countless videos on this stuff
Do you think that
because I
celebrities need to
self-educate
talk
myself.
about it? Do
I
you think they
self-educate
need to
myself.
talk about it?
I think that they talk about it because they want to please the people that are putting those paychecks in their
Okay, I
pocket.
wanted to just make sure that because I think that's what's going on with a lot of the celebrities that's rooting for people that's not rooting for black people. Because if you look at it, Carl, none of them is doing nothing enough for black people, but they are definitely be up there going to play a DJ, go play music. They are entertainment purposes only. So I'm not surprised at her. Again, she's always been weird to me. If I canceling her, I don't know. Again, she's an entertainer. Is she? And she's on tour right now. She's
Yeah.
on tour with
They
Involve
about
and Salt and Pepper and Spinderella.
And ticket sales are slagging, and they're about to remove them from the group and replace them with SWV, from what I understand. But SWV is on tour with another artist right now. I think they're touring with Charlie Wilson or somebody. They're out with somebody right now. I think they're out with Keith Sweat. SWV is out with Keith Sweat, I believe. And that's the only reason TLC is still on this tour, because they haven't found the right group to replace them, because they're trying to replace them ASAP
I heard.
off this tour. Ticket sales are slagging. People are getting in Chili's ass when she walks out on stage. She's hearing some boos. She's not getting the reception she would normally get. Nobody's happy with her right now. Nobody wants to see her face right now. And she needs to go. She needs to go on a vacation, because
She shouldn't have said
you
nothing.
have a right to vote. As I told somebody on Facebook who was taking up for her, yes, they have a right to vote who they want to vote for. Yeah, they do. But you also have the 300,000 plus black women that lost their jobs because of Trump also have a right to be pissed off at her, because she's supporting a guy that has done nothing but degrade black women. And if you're going to support a person that does nothing but degrade black
And
women,
tell you about who that person is.
then you got some problems.
Weird.
Not to mention she got a snow bunny as a husband.
Oh, okay. Weird. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, Chili was always weird to me.
So she got the white husband. So that's not sitting well with a lot of people either. So the fact that she's supporting Trump and she got a white husband, that's a double whammy. You see me on the show enough times. I ain't got no problem with interracial marriage. You know that. But I've said that 1,000 times on the show. But if you're supporting Trump and you got a white husband, now I'm looking at you side at it.
Kev, have you ever thought about what it would be like if you weren't black? Is there any other race you would like to try?
No, because black is the Are you there?
Yeah,
You're talking to Tiffany? Okay.
Okay, here I go. But no, you said would I choose another race?
If you had a choice.
Oh no! If I can't choose alien, I'm choosing. I'm good with black. I wouldn't want to come back and be another race. I like being a black person.
If you had to, Tiffany.
Yeah,
Tiffany, the question is if you had to. Tiffany, if you had
You said
to,
if I
is the
had to
question.
change? No, I'm not changing. I like being black.
No.
We
All right.
know that. Carl, how about yourself, Carl?
Here's something that question. I'm gonna answer it after we watch this video.
Okay.
Watch this video. I'll have comments at the end.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
White. So I'll get white privilege.
If you had white privilege for a day, what would you do?
Oh, that's a hard question, actually.
What would I do? Honestly, just live. You can't really pinpoint whatever it is unless you contrast it. Like if everyone's white, you can't really see it, but if you contrast it to other races, that's when you actually see it. The struggles that others face, most of white people don't face. That's when the privilege comes in.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
I feel this is a trick question. Honestly, white, because white privilege.
What is your current race?
Asian, like ethnicity Vietnamese.
Vietnamese?
Yeah.
What's one thing you take pride in about being Vietnamese?
Our family values my culture. We're very proud of being Viet. But also, after COVID, it was a little bit scary.
If you could experience white privilege for a day, what's the first thing you would do?
Honestly, just walk around. Even as a white, ideally as a white male, just walk around and be able to be safe in my own skin.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
I think we both would agree on the answer. I would say white in today's world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm very starstruck right now. You're very handsome.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, this is I would say any race. I'm Indian, so I would say white probably in this country, so I could get to where I really want to get to because of glass ceilings. And then
if you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
I wouldn't be any other race. I like my race.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
Black. No, I was just gonna say the same thing. I don't think I would be anything else.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
Damn, I don't think I would want to be any other race. Being black is fun.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
None. I love my race.
What's your race?
I'm mixed.
Mixed with what?
I'm Brazilian on my mom's side and Afro-German on my dad's side.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
I wouldn't want to be any other race. I want to be black, so I'm good on that.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
I wouldn't be another race.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
I wouldn't want to be any race other than mine.
What's your current race?
I'm black.
If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
Ooh. I don't see myself as any other race.
What's your current race?
Black.
What's one thing? If you could be any race other than the one you are, which would it be?
White.
Why white?
The freedom and the independence.
This video is very interesting. Notice none of the blacks wanted to change their race. None of them opted to be white. The most people who opted to change their race turned out to be Asians, and Asians are the most successful ethnic group in this country. Yet and still, they prefer to be white, even though Asians do better than whites in this country. Very strange. Just shows you the power of the media, mainstream media narrative. Very, very interesting. I'd appreciate your comments.
Wow. That is deep.
Wow.
That is deep.
I'm not surprised with the Asians because I heard Asians always wanted to be white. Like they have a caste system too. Like they have dark Asians.
The Asians stutter. They didn't even think about. I mean,
they was like white.
Yeah.
I bet you they put that on their thing when they ask me. They don't put Asian. They be looking like Asian, white.
The Asians couldn't wait to say white.
But nobody said they wanted to be black either. No Asian or white. No white guy or Asian person said, "Hey, I want to be black." Like nobody wants to be us.
They know the struggle. They know the struggle that we go through, but they want to dance to our songs. They want to wear our clothes. They want to act like our culture, which we don't have no culture. But everybody want to be us, but they don't want to change colors.
Even an Indian guy who is technically a black person, just with straight hair, he's black. He wants to be white.
Carl, I think I brought this up on the show. I brought this up on the show, probably, Carl, I think before I was performing in at a casino, Cherokee, North Carolina, up in the mountains of North Carolina. It's a beautiful casino there. But every time I go there and perform, I'm around a lot of American Indian people, and I always felt negative energy. I never felt from the American Indians. I never felt like, the bond. I never felt this like loving. I felt like you feel when you're around racist white people.
Yes,
it was the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing because I go to the grocery store down the street from the casino to the food lines. I can rack up some fruit from my hotel room, and I go in there. I'm all happy to see them, and I'm speaking to them and smiling at them, and they giving me like the look, like I don't like you.
What are you looking at, nigger?
Yeah, and it was shocking to me. I was blown away because I was happy to see them, and because you don't see a lot of American Indians just walking around, right? Chris Rock did a whole skit on that. Like you don't go to, what Chris Rock said, you don't go to Red Lobster and see American Indian family over there chomping down on some crab legs. It was a funny skit, but you're right. You don't see them every day, right? So I'm on their reservation, performing, and I see them, right? And I'm like, happy to see them. They got the long hair, and the little kids got the long hair, and it's just they walking around. And I'm looking at them like they're a novelty to me, right? Like, wow. And then I'm smiling and happy, and then they all look at you like Tiffany said, N-word, like what? And it blew me away. It hurt me. It blew me away. I was like, wow, these people don't like us. Nobody likes us. Even American Indians don't like us. And I don't know why. I haven't done any research to find out why they may not like us.
Because those are the diluted ones.
I research everything, by the way. I love researching and learning
They're
stuff.
the diluted ones.
I got to dig into that and find out why there is some sort of, negative energy coming from them, towards Black people.
Maybe
Other than the
we
brainwashing that
survived the
everybody
slave
gets
trade.
towards us, Paul and Tiffany, right? Everybody's brainwashed to not like Black people. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm not surprised at that. That's not the first time I heard somebody saying that the Native Americans you have some of them that look down on, Black Americans. And I'm like, why? We didn't do it to none of y'all. Not
that's
say
crazy
matter
because
of fact,
we have so much
we will help
admiration for
y'all
them.
before y'all help us. That's the
Yeah,
sad part about it. You understand? You remember
that
the
is
show you
true.
did, Carl, when you said the Asians and the what's it told them? If anything happened to you, go to a Black person. You
Yeah.
understand? They'll come to us for help. But if we ask them for help, they would not help us. And it's sad because we don't feel that way about them. But again, I'm not surprised at the Native Americans. I'm not surprised. Maybe they mad because we survived the slave trade. You understand what I'm saying? And they had to be put in confinement. And it's so because I used to support the Native American festivals all the time. I feel like that around certain Africans too. Like they look at you like, and you
Yeah.
But
looking
we
at
know
them
they
like,
don't.
oh,
We know they don't like our asses. The African people definitely don't like our ass. So they don't care about us. We've had this show in conversation 1,000 times how African people treat African Americans in this country. They do not care much for us.
yeah. You can
And then,
feel it. It's an energy.
but it's the same thing with the Migos too. Like Spanish people don't. Nobody likes our ass, but Carl. Carl, Carl, the only person that like us, Tiffany. Everybody else hates Black Americans. Carl, I don't know what happened to you, Carl. You're from a different cloth, bro.
You have to, but you have
Carl,
to. Where I'm at is where my family's at. So you have to be around when you guys get around my family, you will see that there's a lot more people like me. I'm not unique. Actually, my sister's boyfriend, who is from Barbados, he was the one who hit me to, all the Blackness and was like, he's the one that hit me to all of this. And he said, don't get on this bandwagon because he told me a lot of people come from the Caribbean and they start shitting on the American
Black Americans.
Yeah, the Black Americans. And, he said, don't, you know what I mean? He said, these people been through a lot. And before you do that, learn the history, so.
And that's good that he schooled you on that. And
Yeah.
that should happen with a lot of people because when they do come over here, they do have a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
And you get that chip off your shoulder because we've been here all this time. We riding with these chips on our shoulder.
But
after everything we be through and go through and going through right now. We gotta have 2 or 3 jobs, 5 or 6 the 2 partners to be able to help us pay our bills.
But the reason they do it is a good example of Chile. The reason Chile is MAGA because a lot of Black people like her see that white people own most of everything. They're running most of everything in the world, and she figured if I side with them, they're gonna like me and they're gonna treat me better. And she probably feels like she gets treated. It's the same thing with people from the Caribbean and Black people from Africa, Black people from the Caribbean. We come to America. The white people hear our accent. And they treat us differently. And
hey, Carl, I got to push back on that, bro. I think I don't know if that's the reason why. Look, you might be right, brother. I don't know the reason why Black people go MAGA, but the Black people that have gone MAGA are Black people that are financially successful, stable. Chile is worth.
Yeah, okay.
Chile has she has a net worth of $6 million. Now, Hollywood standards, that's not a lot of money, right? But that's a lot of money. But in Hollywood standards, like people like Denzel Washington is worth, $90 million. So yeah, I mean, but she's worth $6 million. Her net worth is $6 million. And that might not be all cash. That might be property and a little bit of everything mixed in, right? Her net worth is $6 million. So she's living fine. She's not worrying about her car note. She's not worrying about her mortgage. She's not worrying about if her kid's gonna go to decent schools or whatever. She at $6 million, she's doing okay for herself. She's not worrying about putting some meals on the table. If the WIC card coming in tomorrow, she's not worried about none of that.
She's not us regular people.
So $6 million is some decent money. She's okay for herself, right? So it's unexcusable. Nelly is worth millions of dollars. Snoop is filthy rich, and from what I understand, Nick Cannon is filthy rich. You know, that cat makes a lot of doughs, has his hand in everything, and was married to a woman that was super rich that he has kids with. So Nick Cannon has been loaded since he was a teenager. He don't even know what it's like to be broke. You know, so it's unexcusable for these guys to do this, you know, because it's unexcusable. It's just unexcusable to throw your people under the bus when you're already rich. Now, if Trump was paying these people to be rich, to make them rich, I'll go, okay, well, you know.
How about if he is paying them? How about if he is giving them money or certain allowance to talk and be MAGA? I wouldn't be surprised.
But you got to remember too, Kev, if Shelly has $6 million, she wants $12 million. When she get $12 million, she wants $24 million. She wants to double her money. So, I mean, she might have $6 million, and that's probably enough for most of us to go, okay, that's enough, I'm good. But, you know, these people, they see, you know, they probably see, like, you know, the MAGA side or the white side seems to be the side where I can make some more money. Remember Damon John when he commented on a Louis Farrakhan tweet, and the Jews, he's worth $400 million, and the Jews,
and he had to shut it down.
And all he did was like it. He liked the tweet from Farrakhan, and the Jews made him take it back and apologize.
Who signs his check?
$400 million he's worth.
Okay,
but he already has a $400 million though. He already has, and if let's say he lost some endorsement deals and it went down to $200 million, you're still worth $200 million. When Kanye West, for example, was worth $1 billion, and when he went through that whole thing where he got backlash for his Jewish rhetoric, his net worth went from from being a billionaire down to I think $600 million. So
like that's something.
Like the brother's still worth $600 million. No, you're not on paper a billionaire, but what can a billionaire do that a man with $600 million can't do? What, live in a different house? No, you got $600 million. You live in the same neighborhood Bill Gates live in. That's all I'm saying. So it doesn't make any sense. I can't wrap my head around that sort of thinking that I'm worth. Diddy was a billionaire when he went to jail. When he went to prison last year, he was a billionaire on paper. Now he's not anymore because that money stopped coming in. Whatever he was doing to make that money, it stopped coming in. When he gets out of jail, I think next month, he's getting out in May. He's going to be worth.
They said 2028. It's 2028.
No, he's getting out in May. He's getting out in May, Tiff. Google it. Diddy's getting out in about 8 to 10 weeks. He'll be out of prison. He's getting out in May. Google his sister. But they changed his date, and he's getting out in May of this year. But when he gets out, he's probably only be worth, I think they said like maybe $400 or $500 million. That's still a lot of money. I mean, he sold his jet. He ain't no reason we fly around on a jet no more, but he ain't like $400 million in the bank. The brother ain't like gonna be standing in the welfare line, you know? Going, is that Diddy in the welfare line? You know, like the cat is, Carl, I sent you a clip. I know you probably didn't get it. I sent you a clip of Muhammad Ali I think I sent it to your Instagram or maybe our chat line, but it was Ali talking about, I sent this to you like maybe 3 or 4 days ago, a clip of Ali talking about he don't need all this money if his people are suffering.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
You see me in the ring fighting, it's not just to prove I can beat this man, it's to beat this man and to go back to Chicago and walk Skid Row, go to Harlem where the black people are taking needles every day. Dope is a big thing in America. People are dying. Black women are walking the streets, prostitute themselves. When Muhammad Ali come out, for 1 hour they're righteous. So my fighting is for purpose. To pray to Allah, represent Allah, and go back to the hells of America and walk the streets of my downtrodden people, because all big black people don't no more want to be black. I can say it loudly on television here in the world. No, I'm the only big $1 million making in the white man's world of prestige who speaks for his people 100% and don't give a damn about the money, being shot, take the title, take it all, and to go to jail tomorrow. I love my people, and I'm not going to sell them out, make no movies, and mislead them and marry blondes, because I'm one Negro who the boss let me come in the castle, and the rest of them in the fields catching hell. I'm going to the fields and represent them if it means die. So that's why I fight.
That's my man right there. That's the man right there, Muhammad Ali.
We don't have that anymore. We don't have anyone who in society right now that's in the public eye that has that attitude. Who?
Nobody.
First of all, nobody want that attitude because we don't want to get killed or murdered or somebody slip us a Mickey.
He died. He Ali's had that stance, Tiffany, in the 60s when we didn't have that much power. We didn't have, what you just heard him say, he said that in the 60s. I think that clip is from the 70s or early 80s. The man has always had that stance since he became a champion in the 60s, along with Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all those guys, Fred Williamson, Dr. King, all those guys, man, they had no fear back in those days. Yes, Dr. King lost his life early on. Malcolm lost his life. The only other person, but Ali died, lived a long life and died from a disease. He wasn't murdered for his stance. He wasn't killed for his stance, but I mean, the only other person I know that's close to Muhammad Ali was Malcolm X. And maybe I could throw Dr. King in there, and throw Dr. King in that thing also. Those three men, Dr. King and definitely Malcolm and Ali, there's no more of that ever.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be. And people, again, remember, we are always the target. They're always coming for us. So remember, and what's his name? Hoover put this document in. Anyone that is of the Messiah-like, he needs to be exterminated. Okay? That's how you got Fred Hampton and them murdered and killed. Anybody that look like they can raise the people, they don't want them here. You understand what I'm saying? They will take you out of here some type of way. Drug, shooting, jail, some type of way. So that's why we're not going to have leaders burst up like that, because they thinking twice.
Tupac was the last, right? I would say Tupac was the last one that had the Muhammad Ali mentality, right?
Yeah, he was close to that, but he also, Tupac was how do you put it, man? Tupac was
he had of the Black Panther movement.
Yeah, he had that same mentality as an Ali in a sense, but he also allowed himself to get caught up with the thug life, and he also promoted that. So he was complicated because he knew better than to promote thug life, but he had it tattooed on his torso, right? Thug life. So he was complicated because in one hand, he was telling people, saying all this amazing philosophy and all this amazing music and stuff, and then he'll go from I Ain't Mad at You, and then California Love, or then he talking about, in his next song, he's talking about gangbanging, you know what I mean? So it's like.
But that's what was selling. That's what was selling.
I know that's what was selling, but you can't have both worlds. That's why he's no longer here, because you can't live both worlds. I know what was selling, but he was conned into that. And he was conned into that by the powers that be, the Suge Knights of the world, and all those people brought him into that world, and he bought into it, right? But that's what was selling. You're right, Tiff. That was selling, but Tupac was so powerful, he could have probably sold preached more positive stuff. He has his positive songs, but he
He
preached
was
so
a
much about
positive
death.
thug. He was a
Yeah,
positive thug. We got to say
no, he's
that.
a bad dude. Mad
Yeah,
respectful.
but
I'm a huge
yeah, we
Pac
have,
fan.
because
Huge Pac
remember that
fan.
timing, the rappers was, remember, rap was just starting, like, it was in, I think about 10 years or something like that, 10, 15 years, but it was a lot that they had to do. I think a lot of rappers found out that rapping was like the hustling game on the street, like slinging coke and crack. It's all about how many hits you gonna make, how many records, who's bigger than one, who makes more money. Like I think him and Biggie didn't think that it was this off the hook.
They lived a
It's a
lie. They
game.
lived a lie, Tiffany. Both of those
Yeah.
guys lived a lie. Both of those
Yeah.
guys on vinyl wanted to be gangsters. And in real life, they weren't gangsters. And they got caught up. If you listen to Biggie's album, you listen to Biggie's CDs, he's always talking about his boys and banging somebody out with their guns. And when it came to time for him and his boys to have guns, they didn't have them. You know, they didn't have them that March night. Was it March 31st when he was murdered? They didn't have it in L.A. March 7th. I'm saying March 7th in L.A. That night. All him and Little C's and all them boys. You listen to the record, me and Little C's and Puffy, we're all strapped down. No, you weren't.
I
You
don't
weren't
even know.
strapped down. None of y'all
I
had
didn't want
guns.
him to go out there. A
None
lot
of
of
them
people
had
from
guns.
Brooklyn did not want him to go to California. When he was in California, we like, why? Why?
Exactly.
You
But look,
know.
Tiffany, even on his last CD, he had a song on it, Going Back to Cali. Remember that song?
Yep. Yep.
So he had a song going back to Cali that was recorded on his last CD before he even went back to Cali to get murdered. So I'm going back to Cali. So I mean,
It's like a premonition, like a
yeah, it
different, like a
was.
certain, like a
It,
premonition.
it, it was. That's why
Life
his
after
last his
death,
last
right?
CD is Life After Death, and he's standing in front of a hearse. I
Yep.
tell you
Life
something.
after death.
You cannot play with death. There was a. I wanted to do a promo photo one time where I stood in front of a cemetery call with a microphone and said, "Killed them again." You know what I'm saying? Like for my promo. But I was like, I can't do that. I can't play with this death shit, man. It's like you don't play with death, right? You know, I was like, not doing that. As much as I thought it would be a nice promo photo for me, you know, comedians always that's a slang that comedians use, Tiffany. We're gonna kill the audience tonight, you know. So I was gonna try to
I'm
tie
glad
that
you
in.
chose not to, because when you said it,
Exactly.
I was like, Father God, in the name of Jesus.
I chose not to because I thought about it. I thought about Biggie in front of that hearse on his CD.
Word.
You know, and it's like
Word.
you
So
don't
that's
play with
very
this.
good that you thought about that, because that would have been on your obituary. That same goddamn picture killing them.
Exactly.
But
You don't play with that shit. You don't play with that
they was
shit,
like, we
right?
got a good picture. He did this picture like 10 years ago, and we're gonna put it up. No, 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 no.
But
But I'm
Tupac the
glad that
same
you
way.
made that
All Pac
decision.
does talk about death in his songs. Pac talk about
Yeah.
dying in every damn song.
But you got to
You know.
remember too, that's like premonition. Again, we're spiritual people. And sometimes the people know when they're going to leave this earth indirectly. Don't you know how you can go back later on and be like, damn, I remember they did that, or I remember they was telling us right there. It happens. It happens. So yeah, you just got to be careful what you put out there. But I'm glad that you made a not to put that, because you really didn't, need that, But I get it.
Yeah. So I call back to that thing, man. I think that I don't know why these guys are selling out their people when they don't have to. You know, Nick
They
Cannon
don't have to.
don't have to. That dude makes a lot of doughs. He do not have to do that. No, you know, there's no excuse to support a person like Donald Trump, who has done nothing since he's come into politics, but put out policy after policy after policy to hurt Black Americans. He's fired all of the Black people that Joe Biden had in government. He came in office and fired all those people. Joe Biden had the head of the military was a Black man that was appointed by Joe Biden. He got fired and replaced by Pete Hetchers, who's a Fox News host. You know, I mean, everybody that Biden, no matter what you think about Biden, your personal thoughts about Biden, or if your family wasn't doing good under his regime, whatever, he had the most diverse cabinet in presidential history. He had more Black people working for his cabinet in high positions than any president in American history. He had more Black people in his cabinet than Obama. So he put Black people into some of the highest spots in government, including the vice president that he had, who was a woman by the name of Kamala Harris. So he was putting Black people in. Trump had one Black person in his cabinet who's not Black. I mean, he's Black, but if you listen to him, he ain't Black. I mean, if you listen, and he that guy that he has in housing secretary, not even an important job. He had one Black guy and put him in a job that's not even that important. So he has no Black people in his cabinet, as far as I'm
I
concerned.
heard they just got rid of Bondi. What's her name? Bondi.
Pam Bondi, yeah, the Attorney General, which is the title of Attorney General, is the highest police officer in the land. Like that, she's like the king police officer. She's Attorney General is as high as you can get as a police officer. Like you're the king of police when you're the Attorney General. Like you're the king, right? And the memes have been going around on social media now is that how does it feel to be Attorney General and get fired by a convicted felon? Because that's what Trump is, a convicted felon, right?
Okay.
And he fired the biggest police officer in the country.
So they
Two women.
took out 2 white women in 3 months.
Yeah. And he's going to get rid of another white woman. Another one's on the chopping block. But none of the white men are going down. He's not firing any white men. He's only firing
No, it's like he hiring them
women.
too to get rid of them so they can say, because you know the DEI was mostly about white women. So now they can't say, oh, we didn't give you a job. You messed that up. Now you got to go.
Yeah. So he's just basically firing. Republicans don't like women, period. None of their policies are for women. They've done everything in their power to roll back any civil rights bills that were passed to help women. I'm surprised he hasn't rolled back gay marriage yet. I'm shocked by that. And the only reason I think he hasn't is because I think his son's gay, and I think that's why he hasn't done it. Just my personal opinion.
Make money off of it too. You make money off.
Just my personal opinion. Yeah, because I was like, he rolled back everything except gay marriage. There's something going on in that thing. So, but yeah, he's rolled back a lot of stuff from the civil rights era. Roe versus Wade, all this stuff that out to help women. This administration has went after and destroyed. That's why I understand why women keep voting for this dude. But white women,
they better, or they're gonna get slapped. Remember, they want them home and having babies and being housewives. Okay, they don't want them working. They want them creating children.
Rich, what's up, Rick? Rick Jenkins from YouTube. Richard, comedian from Boston. Decades, we've been friends for decades.
Oh, hey.
He fired the Black general and blocked 2 Black women from becoming generals. He did that, absolutely. So, do you think that like those Black MAGA people, they don't pay attention to stuff like that? They don't see stuff like that? I mean, or they see it and they just don't care? I mean, I think their whole focus is seeing how much money Trump can make for them. Is that what they're looking at? I mean,
you said how much Trump can make for them.
Yeah, I mean, what is the attraction?
Or how much money they can make off of Trump? But they would
whatever. How much money Trump can make for them? How much they can make up? Their whole focus seems to be financial. They don't care how many Black people get trampled on, how many Black people get hurt, how many of us lose our jobs, get murdered by the police. As long as Trump makes, that seems to be their attitude.
I think it's all a money thing. Yeah, I think it's a money thing.
It might be, because I don't know what else he's doing. I mean, the grocery prices are still high. Gas is even higher. Oil is up. We're in a war. Nothing's going right in the country. We're not prospering. We're not winning. So maybe people that got millions of dollars in the bank don't feel what average everyday Americans feel. I mean, so you might be right. I mean, I don't think Ice Cube, who also, came out hard on the Democrats. You see, my problem with people like Ice Cube is he came out hard on the Democrats back during when Kamala first started running, or when Biden was running the first time, he was going hard on Democrats. Well, that boy quiet as a church mouse right now about
Oh yeah.
criticizing Trump. Like, where's all this criticism that you have for Kamala Harris when she was running? Why come there's no criticism of Trump as he is now the president screwing this country up
I think he
and
was
doing things
supporting
that,
his basketball thing.
where is this boy at? I mean, he's been quiet as hell.
Yeah, I think he was doing advertisement for the big three. You
I think
understand?
Jared Kushner, one of them people, was had money involved in the big three or something like that. But see, that's the point. Yeah, so he has some Jewish backing, and
He
I
had to
think
be quiet.
somebody in Trump's family had some money involved in that big three. So he going hard for Trump in the paint, right? So, man, it's just, but you throw all these people under the bus over that. I don't get it, man. I don't get these
I
people.
told you, Trump is a curse and a blessing because he is blessing us, letting us know who people really is. And it be the ones that we done bought bought they tape or they CD or something like that. We're finding out who it is. And I'm telling you, the rich are all working together. They're doing their thing. They have certain rules and regulations. And I think especially in the black people's contract, they tell them you can't get involved, you can't spend this certain type of money, you can't say this, you can't say that. I think they got them all caught up because to be honest with you, I don't think the celebrities should say anything about who they voting for because once we find out you voting for the one that's not for us, we looking at you side eye. We ain't messing with you. We not spending no money with you. We not supporting you. We not doing any of that. So
I
again,
think
if
it's
y'all
just MAGA
supporting
though.
huh?
I think it's just MAGA, Tiffany. I think it's just Trump. I don't think people would be pissed off at any black celebrity that said, "Hey, I voted for George Bush," or "I voted for uh, um, another." I mean, not going back to Nixon and Reagan, but somebody that black to say, "Okay, I voted for Bush," or "I was voting for Mitt Romney," or something like that. I don't think people would cancel her because she voted for Mitt Romney or something. You know what I'm saying? Or she didn't vote for Obama, but I think people cancel her now because she's voting for Trump. And I think Trump is more troublesome than those other Republicans from the past. Like, they're not even on a level, not even on the same level. Like, we would do anything to have George Bush to be president right now. As bad as he was,
Yeah.
we would still do it. As bad as he was, we still want George Bush in the White House right now over
Which
Trump.
one? The first one or the second?
Either one, but definitely the second one. The
Yeah, I
son,
can deal with
the
the
son was
second one.
better. The son was better than the father, because the father was a gangster. The father was from he was the vice president to Reagan, so he's part of the Reagan administration, which we already know what the Reagan administration did to black people. So, yeah, we definitely don't want that in our world. Reagan damn near destroyed generations of black people with his Iran Contra. What Paul Mooney said, the biggest drug dealer in the world was Ronald Reagan, because he's the one that brought crack into America. So allegedly.
Like I said, everything come out of our mouth is alleged and our opinions only.
All right.
Even when it's the truth.
We're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for hanging with us for the last 2 hours. Thank you so much. Thank to all of you in the chat. Thanks to all of you on Facebook and Instagram and on Twitch. We seem to get the crazies from Twitch. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but I want to thank you guys for watching. Please check us out. We're here every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel because like everyone else, we're trying to grow our channel. And before we go, as always, I will ask Kevin anything you learned or you want to share about tonight's show before we go.
Yeah, I just want to say, we did this show, we were doing this show when Carl lost his dad, and we watched, we knew, I couldn't comprehend the pain that you were going through and all that sort of stuff, because I still had my dad, and now I'm in the same class as you. It's a class nobody wants to be in. Uh, you know, and June 27th, I think June 27th is Father's Day, and it's going to be a very interesting Father's Day for me because I won't be able to pick up the phone and call my dad or see him like I normally do. So it's going to be very interesting this Father's Day, this June 27th. Not being able to pick up the phone and call that dad up, man. It's something that you take for granted. And if you still have a father that's living, I recommend you give him a call and say hi or whatever. Take him to lunch. Just call him and say hi. Just simple hello, dad. Just want to call and say hi. If you still have your dad, do that. Because I won't be able to do that ever again. That hurts.
And I want to add to that before I go to you, Tiff, that if you put off calling your parents, and I used to do that, I'm going to call my dad, I'll call him tomorrow. Or, I'll call my mom, I'll call tomorrow, I'm busy today. And now if you call your parents or call anyone that you're close to, just call people in the moment you can, because my sister passed away. I mean, so suddenly, so all of that to say that we don't know when's the last day. I don't know when my last day is. None of us know when our last day is. My sister was making plans for the weekend that was coming up. Made big plans with all her friends. They were going to go out, do a whole bunch of stuff, and then boom, she wasn't there. So my advice to you, if you're watching the show and you have loved ones or friends, anyone that you care about, and you have an opportunity to call, just call. Don't put it off. Tiffany, anything you learned on tonight's show you want to share?
Well, just by y'all saying that, I was put in a situation. We didn't even talk. Today's Easter.
Yeah.
So, this is the time where people go the most to church. Okay. Easter and Christmas is when people go to church. So I went to church with my mom today. And she caught me out there because she was like, listen, one of our good friends, Miss Iona, I love you, Miss Iona, said, asked me, she said, you want to go to church and your mother wants you to go. And I couldn't say no because you only get one mother, and I don't want her to leave this earth and I'll be like, damn, I should have went to I should have went to church with her. So I went to church this morning in New Jersey, and it was nice. I'll probably mention their name next because I want to talk about it because I haven't been in church in almost 20 plus years. So just to be there for Easter and see how the modern church is now, it's different, but I really enjoyed myself. So again, like he said, y'all got your time with your family members. Make that time, make them calls because they're not promised to us. And you definitely do not want to have no regrets, especially when you're going through grief. I also wanted to say a couple of things. You must take time for your health because especially when you're grieving, you don't want to get sick, so we definitely want to make sure you eat properly, create a routine. Yeah, sometimes you want to be by yourself, but just create a routine and try to be around people that is very loving and caring and able to help you and support you during your time of grief. It's no time of when you should stop or when you can grieve for how long as you want. That's how you do it, and always know, pray, pray, ask God to give you strength, and also know your ancestors will always be by you. In my spirit, in how I feel, your ancestors will always be near you, be your angel, be your side, to be in your ears. So definitely also, I want to say rest in peace to my friend Dwight. His name is Dwight Orchard Medley. He was my sister's best friend, and he wound up making his transition at 32 years old. So I definitely, want to send out love. This really hurt me and my family very bad because we've been knowing him since he was 8 years old. So definitely we have been going through a lot here on the Black Therapy Show, dealing with grief and losing loved loved ones. So we definitely want to say we love you all. Thank you all for sitting in with us. And again, if you're going through it, please take the time to just love yourself, and be around people that is going to be there for you. Again, my sincere condolences to you, Kev, and to your
Thank
family,
you.
to your siblings,
Thank you.
and we will be praying for you all. And we want y'all to be safe.
Thank you. Hey, Tiff, did you wear like one of those big Suge Avery hats to church today from Color Purple? Did
You
you?
know what? Let me tell you something. When you just mentioned that, the pastor in the church, it was like 5 hats in the church. My mother had a hat on, right? I got her this beehive hat, right?
Right.
She had her hat on. And he was like, let's give a shout out to the hats, right? He was looking for the hats. My sister friend called me today. She said, girl, I went and got me a hat. I had to travel all over, and it was only 4 people that wear hats in. I wanted to be in the hat competition. I said, so
Well,
yeah,
next time you gotta get a hat.
they slacking on hats. I mean,
Oh,
I know when Easter, everybody's getting dressed up. You seeing the biggest pretty, you having the colors and everything. Well, I didn't see a lot of that. I did
yeah, it's
not
sign of the
see a lot of
times.
that.
Sign of the times. Sign of the times, Tiff. Yeah. Now in today's modern church, people go in jeans and khakis and just laid
Yes,
back.
I saw
You
a
don't see
lot
a
of
lot
that
of.
too.
Yeah, back in the day, you didn't go to. Our parents wouldn't let us go to church because we had a suit on back in the day. But
Yes,
now,
we had to be clean and
we're
dresses
clean.
pressed
I
down and
last time
patent leather shoes.
I ain't been to church in a while, but last time I went, I looked around and everybody was just laid out casual, except for the older folks.
Casual.
Older people were like dressed in their suits. Oh, that old guy in his suit and tie, look like he's ready to be dropped into the grave. But he's just that clean. But nah, usually, everybody's just casual. It's just
Yeah,
the
they were
times.
very casual. I only counted like no more than like 3 hats, 3 to 4 hats. I'm like, where's the hats at? Jesus.
Yep. All right.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Again, I want to thank you guys. We're gonna close out. I'm gonna showcase some Black businesses as usual. So, you guys, there's an app called the Black Nile app. It's comparable to Amazon. So if you shop Amazon a lot and you want to support Black business, download the Black Nile app, BlackNile app, and they say you can get anything on this app. Whatever's on Amazon, you can get on this app, but you get it from Black businesses. So if you have an opportunity to support the Black Nile app, please do so. Please download the Black Nile app. I haven't tried it. I downloaded it. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm told it's comparable.
I'm looking for it right now.
So here's the Black Nile.
If anybody has a list of Black-owned businesses that do the same thing, let me know.
A list? I think I Black girled a little bit too close to the sun. I created an app. I saw somebody in the comments saying that they're looking for like a Black Amazon. Sister, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. This ain't Amazon. It's the Nile. I can show y'all better than I can tell you. Come on. On this app, there are over 3,000 Black-owned brands listed in almost every single category you can think of. And I mean every category. Skincare, hair care, nail care, feminine care, hotels and villas, hairstylists, restaurants, grocery stores, luxury wear, handbags, wedding, home and kitchen, babies and kids, swimwear, lingerie, plus size clothing. Y'all, the list goes on. We are 40 and counting. But since we were on the topic of grocery stores and convenience stores, let me show y'all what that section looks like. So under services nearby you, click on grocery stores. It will direct you to a page where you see all the Black-owned grocery stores in the United States of America. At the moment, we have 26 Black-owned grocery stores. On here, you have the option to filter by state and by the type.
All right, so you get the idea. That's the Black Nile app. Now here are some other businesses from around the country.
Did you know there's a Black-owned farmers market in DC? If you like supporting Black farmers and Black-owned businesses, this is really a one-stop shop. It happens every second and fourth Sunday of the month at the Spice Suite. If you're looking for produce, eggs, tropical fruit, or watermelon, they have all that and much more. The day I went, they actually had someone that does permanent jewelry, so I got this bracelet that I'm obsessed with, and my friend got an anklet. We ventured to their new cafe called Something Sweet, which I will definitely be back to because they have quite the variety of coffees and teas available. The Spice Spice Suite itself has a ton of spices and kitchenware, so you can easily do some of your grocery shopping for the week and find some other fun things to stock up on. More on the farmers market is in my caption. Let me know if you try something like this. My name is Bianca, and I'm always going somewhere, so you might as well follow and come with me.
Hey guys, here's 7 Black-owned restaurants in DC and Maryland and the talented folks behind them to support this Black History Month.
Julia Spice Bronzino seasoned and marinated overnight. We carved the inside of the mac and stuffed it with oxtail.
Escovitch snapper with pickled chilies, coconut chutney, coconut rice.
Showcasing the diversity of Blackness.
Ginger hoisin lamb is a brand new item on the menu. Come with a side of palm free, Parmesan cheese, plus granola.
South Padilla's DC.
A Black women-owned restaurant. My parents made a lot of sacrifice.
The lamb shoulder.
Tell me about
that. Frying in a pastrami brine for about 24 to 48 hours before we braise it in a tamarind braised bacon.
Your dogu is a Black History Month will create a special menu for you to come and enjoy the African delicacy.
Caribbean culture, Creole culture, as well as a little French culture. Just blending that all together to give, the French.
It's very refreshing for us to be able to finally be on the forefront of expressing ourselves through food.
My name is Joel, owner of Brooklyn Pub Coffee, located in Flatbush, Brooklyn. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I wanted to put something in place that can bring people together. It doesn't matter your nationality, your race, your gender, your lifestyle, whether you're rich or you're poor. For me, everyone gets treated the same. And I was trying to figure out what was the one thing that could bring people together. And I figured out, coffee. Grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, same neighborhood that the coffee shops are located. I love the neighborhood. I love the beautification of the neighborhood. I love the neighborhood when it was back then. I love it now. With change comes greatness. Small businesses are the core of this nation, and supporting each other is the #1 thing. A lot of folks run from the struggle. A lot of folks run from the pain. I'm a little bit different. I run towards that. My motto is embrace that. Love it. Make love to it. Make love to the hardship. Make love to the struggle. Stay true to yourself. Love always. Carry goodness in your heart and be grateful for every opportunity that you get in life so that you can become a better person and help change this world for what it is.
Hi, my name is Jill Hubbard Salk. I am the founder, owner, CEO of Urban Asanas, LLC. It's the first, and I want to say it might be the only Black-owned yoga studio in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Being a woman of color, I was always in spaces that were predominantly white. And I felt that there was a need to have a more diverse space and a space where people of color could be seen and feel safe. And that's how we birthed Urban Asanas, and that's what it's been doing since then. We're gonna move your soul. I give a damn about my community. The state of the world right now, we need to be in a space that's safe, in a space that you can cry, you can yell, and you can just be, and just be a better person.
I created a Black-owned soda company called Afropop. My name is Jamel Stevens, and I believe that people should see themselves in the products that they buy. Afropop was started in my kitchen, completely grassroots, and we still maintain that independence today. Afropop has 0 investors, and in 2025, we expanded into grocery stores for the first time ever. That grocery store was called Uptown Grocery. If you live in Oklahoma City, recently they were acquired by Reese's. This is a unique opportunity because there is an opportunity for us to expand into the Tulsa and Texas market. I believe that this race has already started, and we need your help to get the attention of Reese's. I will be at the Oklahoma City Uptown Wednesday and Friday at 12:30 doing samplings and showing up so that way we can continue to get the support from these grocery stores. And I need your help because every time you buy a can of Afropop, that tells these grocery stores that Black people want to see themselves in the products that they buy. I believe that this is an opportunity for us to expand in our state as well as in our neighboring state, Texas. And I can only do that with your support. If you want to say hi, stop by and see me on Wednesday and Friday at the Uptown in OKC. I want to say thank you to our supporters and the people who continuously show up. And I want you to know that we are consistently showing up and consistently having conversations with these grocery stores to let them know that we want to see ourselves in the products that we buy. And I need your help to do it. Thank you, and I appreciate you. Please share this video with a friend. If you're not already following us, please follow us. And please buy our products anytime you see it, at Uptown in particular, but anywhere. It does make a difference, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
All right, so that's Afro Pop. That's soda. That brother said he was talking kind of soft, so I don't know if you guys heard it, but it's an alternative to, I guess, Coke or Pepsi or whoever. I told you guys about the Now app. Did you check out the Now, Tiff?
Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me go on it. I think it's an app. Like it's not a website, it's an app.
Yeah, you download the app, you go to your...
Yeah, I think you download the app. So that's a different... It's not like we can go online and go look. So you have to download the app.
Yeah, I downloaded. There is an app.
Yeah, so it's an app. And also I sent y'all Kev, his out date is on the 2028. Did you see it when I sent it to you?
No, I didn't see that. Oh, when is it again?
2028.
2028?
Yeah, I sent it to y'all in y'all what's it called?
Okay, I didn't look that up because I just heard on the news like last week that he was getting out in May of this year. They upped this thing. Okay, well, I have one more thing to say.
2028.
Okay, one more thing to say, by the way. Free Diddy and R. Kelly Stop this nonsense.
Yes. And give Bill Cosby back his money.
Yeah, how about that? Give Cosby back his money. If Trump ain't in jail and all these Epstein file people ain't in jail, then Diddy and R. Kelly should be out.
Yeah, get them back their money.
I'm done. All right. Peace and love.
Kevin, I love you, brother. Tiffany.
Yeah. Much love.
Hey, you guys. All right,
See you
everybody.
next Sunday.
Sweet.
I love being black. Oh, I love being black. Because it's like I think I got an advantage because of being black. I think I have an advantage because of the way I came up in this world and shit. You know what I mean? It's like my disadvantages are my advantages in this world. Because I'm always going to be underestimated from the door, but I'm always ready. So I don't have to get ready.
George Floyd called out for his mother. Eric Garner said he couldn't breathe, brother. Tamir Rice, just a boy in the park with a toy gun. Trayvon Martin, Skittles in his pocket. Never made it home, they say justice, but we still waiting. Another life gone, another mother praying. Another candle in the wind, another hashtag trend. But the pain don't end, no, the pain don't end. Say their names, say their names, say their names. Don't let silence take the blame. Say their names. They were loved, they had dreams, they were more than what it seems. Say their sleeping in her bed. Sandra Bland with questions left unsaid. A Tatiana Jefferson playing games at night. Breccia Boyd lost in flashing lights. They don't say her name the same way. Don't march as long, don't cry as loud, don't stay. But she was somebody's baby too, and her life mattered just like you. Just when it's trending, not just when the camera's pretending. Say that name, but it's quiet, but it's late, but it's just you in the way. So the world don't rewrite the story, for the truth don't get
the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. We in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta no more killing each other. It's time to see a new sisters and brothers. You know it, Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany. You'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you everything. We gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from our God above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.